This is mostly for young black men, but this is actually for anybody who is seen as threatening and people would try to make you seem like a threat or like they're fearful of you. If you are a young black man or an older black man, if you're a black man, period, and people are trying to get you to defend yourself, you need to leave the situation and you need to start recording, but you need to get away from that situation and you need to leave. Because the thing is, you are not going to be looked at as who you are when the police come. And people who are trying to make you defend yourself as a black man or a young black dude or even just a black boy, they're going to try to make themselves seem like the victim when the police or any authoritative figure comes. That has happened to me throughout my whole life. My whole life, I would have people bothering me and messing with me. But then when people would put me in situations where I would have to physically defend myself and then they would call the police, they would always try to make themselves look like the victim. And the police would always believe that they're the victim. And they would always make me out to be a threat. I grew up in the church and I've always treated people how I would want to be treated. And I'm always very respectful when I first meet people, and I'm very courteous, and I conduct myself in a manner that is so professional and refined that you wouldn't even guess where I'm from. I'm from the hood and I'm from the ghetto, and I grew up in a very violent environment, and I had to learn how to defend myself when I was younger, or I would have got my ass beat all the time. I would have got my face smashed in, and I'm pretty sure I would have got disabled. I actually know somebody when I was younger. They got their arm broken by some people who used to mess with us, and we had to fight these people before. It was a 2-on-5 fight, and we kicked their ass. But if I didn't learn how to defend myself, I would have been done. And when I first meet people and I'm interacting with people, I'm very courteous and respectful, and people see that as a weakness. So people tend to disrespect me and they try to push me to a point where I have to defend myself. And when I start to defend myself and I let them know they're not going to fuck with me, and then they want to play the victim and they want to act like I'm crazy or I'm messed up or I'm trying to get to them. And I'll tell you a story. Back when I had roommates, I had some roommates, and my sister would go to work and I would watch my sister's dog. And these people were really disrespectful when my sister was gone because my sister was paying rent, and I wasn't paying rent. I was making money, but not enough money to help do anything. And these people was paying rent, and they was our roommates. It was a guy and a girl. And when I first met them, I was really respectful. I was really courteous. I didn't step on their toes. I didn't disrespect them. And they had a dog as well. When my sister would first start leaving to go to work, they would be in their room and I would be in my sister's room. I'd just be doing what I needed to do because I was trying to get a job, but nobody wants to hire me for any reason. I don't know why. But they would start going out in the living room, and they'd be in the living room the whole time my sister is gone. And I would have to take my sister's dog out. And when I would have to take my sister's dog out, I would have to ask them to go in their room so they can put their dog in the room, and I take my sister's dog out. And these people, when my sister would leave, the first thing they would do is go in the living room, and they'd be chilling in the living room with their dog all day. And I would let my sister's dog out. And when my sister's dog would need to go out, I'd let him out and he'd come back in. And then as soon as I bring him in my sister's room, and then they'd be out in the living room watching TV, watching a movie, playing video games, doing whatever. And I didn't really care about that. But, when I need to take my sister's dog out, go in your room because I'm taking my sister's dog out. I'm so respectful and I'm so courteous and I'm so kind that these people thought I was a bitch. They thought I was a pussy. Right. So there was this one time me and my sister's dog was in her room for a few hours, and I'm like, hey, I need to take my sister's dog out. And they're acting like it's a problem. And then after that, I started taking my sister's dog out more consistently, to make sure he can go out, because I realized that they like to have power and they're trying to psychologically fuck with me. And I wasn't going to let that happen. And it came to the point where the dude was big as fuck. He was like 6'6". His girl was like, she was big too. She was like 6'2" or something, but they thought they was gonna bully me. And I let them know. We almost had a fight. I almost ended up doing something to him and doing something to her because they thought they was gonna bully me and make it so that my dog, me and my sister's dog doesn't go outside. And I ended up getting into it with the dude and the girl. And I let them know that when I need to take my dog out, I'm gonna let my dog out. You're not gonna stop me from letting my dog out. And then they was trying to bully me, and I became the person who I was when I had to become violent, and I wasn't respectful to them no more. And I let them know if they need to do something, if we need to handle this, we can. And I said, we can handle it any way you want. I'm ready to go when you're ready to go. What you want to do? And I'm just like, bro, I'm ready for anything. Do what you got to do. And it actually came to a point where she thought she was going to square up on me, and she was acting all crazy, and she threw water on me, and she was acting like she wanted me to hit her. And I'm like, girl, I'm not going to hit you. You feel me? I'm not going to hit you. If I hit you, I'm going to break your jaw. And I didn't put my hands on her. But I ended up having to call my sister, and then my sister called the police. And when the police came, the police was acting like I was a threat, and I had everything on video. And I showed the police, and after I showed the police the video, and then they're like, oh, okay. And then the dude, her boyfriend, he wants to act like I'm scared of him, and I got a problem. And I didn't have a problem, but it ended up being that he didn't want to have a problem with me because, just like I said, I told him that we can handle it any way we want. And that meant anything to me. I didn't care at that moment because they took my kindness and my courtesy as a weakness. And that's something I'm not going to let people do. By the time they wasn't our roommates, the tension between me and them was so bad that when I was around them, I was just ready to go at any moment. I did not give a fuck. And I was young. I was in my teenage years. I was really ready to go. And when I was younger, I used to carry something on me. I used to have shit on me all the time. I always had something on me. And I'm not saying I would have resorted to that, but I was ready to do what I had to do to protect myself. But I treated these people with the utmost respect and the kindness when I first met them, and they took that as weakness. So I switched on them and I let them know who I was. And as a black man, you're going to have evidence if you're going to want to walk away from that situation, okay? Because when the police was called and the police came, they tried to make themselves seem like the victim, and they tried to make me seem like somebody I'm not. Just like I said, I grew up in the church and I'm very respectful and I'm very courteous to people. So y'all take that into consideration and make sure that you watch your back and stay on your toes and don't let people make themselves the victim. You have to make sure that you get enough evidence so it's irrefutable and people cannot deny that you was respectful and kind and courteous to people in the beginning and then they disrespected you and did you wrong. You got to do that. And if you can't provide the evidence, you got to walk away and you got to get away from the situation, because nobody is going to believe you as a black man that you were kind and courteous and you're not who they're trying to say you are. It doesn't matter how respectful you are. It doesn't matter how calm and cool you are when the police come. They are going to treat you like you're either mean and hateful or crazy or you're a threat, and they are going to take you away. If you're a black man of any age, if you're a black boy, if you're a young black man, if you're an older black man, if you're an elder black man, they are going to look at you as a threat. You're not going to walk away from that, and you need to do that. Hope you enjoy the ride. Catch you on the flip side.